sky. Landed in a field, baby, next to I-35. Well, I don't know what they want, but it might be you and I. 25 months, baby. Hey folks, what's going on? This is Moot Davis, and this is another installment in the Moot Point podcast. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Things are good and crazy here. Just packing and doing the final getting ready to go to Europe later this afternoon. So wanted to try and get this second episode with my friend Jefferson McDonald out to you folks. Also, big news, the new album Hierarchy of Crows is now available for pre-order on iTunes, and so you can head over there and find it and pre-order it. It comes out later this month. Some radio stations are already starting to pick it up and play some songs from there, so it's pretty exciting for us. Anyway, today's interview, man, this one makes me laugh, and we go pretty deep. We not only talk more about Jefferson's growing up in history, but we also talk a bit about mine and trials and tribulations and wrong turns that I've made and that have led me here. So it's kind of we go deep, and it's a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy it. All right. Here's my interview, second part, with Jefferson McDonald. Cool. Well, I said, damn that midnight train. This whiskey gonna rot my brain. And I'm gonna find out fast, girl, when I'm all alone.
For sure.
And what was the fight that he had with the... What the hell was the animal that he ended up fighting?
Oh, yeah, an otter. An otter, yeah, he got in a fight with an otter. It's unbelievable. I had just coming home and...
Oh, this is the rabies story.
The rabies, right. Well, the thing is, he was at his friend's house, and this otter attacked the friend's dog. And so instead of just kicking it, he decided to, separate them with his hands. And otters are really big, and they have very sharp teeth. Right. So he got a nice bite on his... it took out a chunk of his head, actually. This was a serious bite. This was a disaster. And so he's bleeding profusely, but of course, when he's in shock and rage, and, then, Hulk Michael turns on. So he just grabs the otter and starts pounding it with his fist like he does. When in doubt, pound things with your fists. Right. And he killed the thing. And so now its, head is mashed. So, anyway, they go to the doctor, your local, what is it, the county health, whatever the heck it is they have in these, little towns where you go and get things fixed. So, he goes there and they bring the otter, and they can't test it because, the way you test for rabies is you have to examine the brain, but he beat the brain to a pulp, so it's just mush, the head's mush, you can't test it for rabies, so they just have to give you rabies shots anyway, because... Here's the thing, the county pays for you to get rabies shots if there's even a chance of getting rabies. Right. It's not an issue of insurance. Right. I don't think. In this case, it wasn't. It's it's just the United States of America does not want people getting rabies. It's that bad. Right. You're just messed up for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So he's getting these rabies shots. And boy, those are not fun. Those are not fun. He was a different person for a month getting those rabies shots. Because I think you get 6 of them every time you go in. You get a couple in the shoulders, a couple in the ass, a couple in the thighs, and you're just a mess. And you're on very powerful antibiotics, so eating, and it's really hard to drink on those antibiotics. Right. You really get nauseous. You try your hardest. You try as hard as you can.
That's right.
So anyway, he made it... I don't know if he even got stitches on the hand. For months, he had this scab on his hand that just looked like... it looked like he just had a piece of a glove on his hand. I don't know what was going on. We call those beauty marks.
Yeah, fair enough.
Nice birthmark there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so he's had a challenging,
Yeah,
he's
sure.
had a challenging few months.
Yeah.
But I was hoping, I'd get him on the ship, get a little sunshine, cheer him up. But, he ran into some trouble with the law. So what can you do?
Fair enough.
But anyway, apparently he's shaved and cleaned up in there, and so it sounds like he's doing all right.
Nice.
So So hopefully I'll see him there. I'm gonna plan to make a visit there. Hopefully at the in May.
Yeah.
May.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
gonna pop by.
Right on, man.
Yeah. I don't think I've been to a prison in a while. I don't think I've ever visited anyone in prison, so it should
Right.
be interesting.
Right.
It'll be kind of fun.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I've been to some sort of correctional facility for like some like doing more stand-in stuff. You
Yeah.
know? Because like whenever we'd be home from the road or whatever like that, or in between tours, I'd do like the stand-in or like extra work. You know, like
Yeah.
out in L.A. or on the East Coast. And I think there was some sort of East Coast shitty prison that we went to for a day or something. It was dumb.
Tour around.
Yeah, totally dumb.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
But there's not much to do in those. I mean, you get a lot of reading done.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the ship.
It's exactly what I was
It's
just
kind of
thinking.
like the ship.
It's just like the ship. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that reminds me, I should send him a book today. I'll send him something. I don't
Nice.
know. I'll think of something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I was saying that book I sent him, The
Oh, right.
War of Art,
The
by
War
this
of
guy,
Art.
Stephen Pressfield. He wrote a couple of great books about Greek mythology
All right.
that I had read before, but I had never heard about this book. It was quite interesting, and it's, I'm not a really big self-help book guy, but every time I read them, I do appreciate them, so maybe I should be. They always seem to have something valuable in there for you, and
Right.
you feel motivated for a day or two.
Right.
A minute.
Right.
20 seconds. So I sent it, and my mother was telling me, well, he really liked it. He didn't finish it. He just started giving it to the other inmates. And apparently all the inmates are loving it.
Right.
They're just really digging this book.
Changing lives.
It's really changing lives. So, I mean, boy, I've never felt better after that. I was like, wow,
right.
I did something for some prisoners.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I don't really do a lot of nice things for people. I could do more.
Yeah.
Because, my brother, he just finished a missions trip in Honduras, and we go to Honduras every week.
Right.
I don't
We're on
help
a different
anyone there.
mission. To Honduras.
I'm on a mission, a margarita mission.
Yeah.
Um,
We have some epic drinking days there in
Yeah.
Honduras, which are
I try
real
to
good.
tip a lot. I feel like that's helpful.
Yeah. You think that's
I don't
an
know.
atonement of some kind?
I don't know. I do actually a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that extra $3, that's paying
that's
for
saved
some
there.
kind of sin.
Yeah.
Something I'm about to do that's probably not right. Something shady, but
Yeah, man. We should also say, people want to, follow you.
Oh yeah, there are a couple of ways to do that. I have, what do they call it? Twitters? I have Twitter. Well, I have a website. I might be down, but I do have a website. I tell you, GoDaddy, they've been playing around with me. So anyway, and then I was paying for this service to build this website, and the website looked terrible. So I really got to do something else. But anyway, yeah, and on Facebook, of course, I have a page. I mean, my name's Jefferson McDonald.
Right.
I don't know.
You should get a donate button on your webpage so you can help pay your college funds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, really interesting point, is that the student debt relief program, that was, I think, like the William B. Ford it's a interesting program if you're working at a not-for-profit theater, or not-for-profit in general, but in our case, a not-for-profit theater.
Right.
I think you can apply for this program, and then you pay a minimal amount of your loans, and then they take care of the rest. Which realistically makes sense, because, the pay when you're working at a not-for-profit is not a lot anyway.
Right.
I don't know if this program will exist much longer, considering,
Right.
who's in leadership right now. Probably I'll have to pay just twice as much. I don't know.
Right.
I'm probably going to get drafted next year. I don't know.
That'd be great.
I hope so. It'll give me something to write about.
Yeah. Time for you to go to Africa.
Yeah, exactly. They really need a 29-year-old piano player.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, before you shoot me. Listen to this. This is a great song. This is a great song. I bet you've never heard this.
Tell them about your favorite book.
Yeah. Yeah.
You read Art is War, or whatever the hell is it?
Yeah, The War of Art.
Yeah, that's it.
I would like to apply my tactics that I learned in The War of Art. No, you see, what your problem is that you're... Yeah, I'll try to psychoanalyze them before they kill me. No, I can already see just a Saving Private Ryan moment where I'm just going to get... There's going to be just...
Yeah.
I'm just going to be stabbed to death lying on a cold floor.
What are you talking about? Don't go for that infantry stuff. You should go intelligence.
Yeah.
Get a Jeep.
Oh, absolutely. Got to be in a car.
Yeah.
Got to be in a car. It's like those Civil War reenactments, where, my dad always told me, when you're on horseback, it's always better. But when you get shot on horseback, you pretend you're dead, and then you just giddy up horse, you whisper to your horse, they respond, give them a little nudge,
Yeah.
go to the woods, and come right back to life. It's like The Walking Dead, but,
Right.
it's for Civil
Just
War.
like, yeah. Fair enough.
Never go for infantry.
Never.
You die, you lie there in the sun in those wool suits, you're going to hate your life. Those things are really itchy.
That's right.
And it's always like 95 degrees when you're having a Civil War reenactment for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of our listeners are Civil War reenactments, but there's usually some good bluegrass music. There's there's always a couple of real characters playing banjo at these
Sure.
Civil War reenactments.
Sure.
They're keeping the art of banjo alive there.
Yeah.
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 The fine arts.
The
fine arts.
Right.
But yeah, you could follow me. I'm going to be doing this show, this here show, this summer back in the States for a couple of months at a lovely, very storied historical theater, in Stockridge in the Berkshires in Massachusetts. The Berkshire Theater Group, they have a conglomerate of theaters, but we'll be doing ours, $1 Million Quartet, in the Unicorn, at the Unicorn stage. And it's an intimate space. It's a 99-seat theater, and it's going to be directed by a good friend of mine, James Barry, who's been doing this show for many years, and he's an expert on it. And I think it's going to be a phenomenal performance. And that's a really great area. You've got the Williamstown Theater Festival right over there. And I was actually looking at what's going on. And Williamstown Theater Festival is going to be running a show called... Now, it's written by this actress. She's a great actress, Hallie Pfeiffer. And she just did The Front Page with my uncle on Broadway with Nathan Lane and John Goodman. And she wrote... she's a playwright. And this play she wrote, it's called... The title is... and I might get the number wrong here, Moscow, 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 Moscow. And I think I got the number of Moscows right there. I think it's based on, I'm going to say Three Sisters, because when I was reading the character breakdown, it looked like it was some of those names, some of the same names. I should know. I studied in Russia, but but it's kind of evading me right now.
Did you go to Russia?
I did. I studied at the Moscow Art Theater for 3 months.
Right on.
Yeah. Still paying for that, too. Yeah. I should set up that GoFundMe page.
Please
So
don't.
much knowledge. Got so much.
How was Moscow?
It's a great city. They, I don't know. A lot of people were saying they might not, get along with you. Politically, we always seem to be on a different page with them. But boy, I had a great time with them.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is we're always playing these political games with. It is what it is. It is what it is, and there's a long history behind that. But as far as a place to go visit, and as far as the mecca of acting, the Moscow Art Theater, and the history there, and just seeing that seagull, it just fills you with a kind of emotion as an actor that to be where Stanislavski premiered that play. It's really phenomenal. And the teachers there and the actors there and the training there is amazing. So I got to spend 4 months there through the National Theater Institute, the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center, which is in Waterford, Connecticut. And so you have the option to do something there, or they have a program where you can go. And the real nice thing was that I was with a bunch of students who from all over, from Carnegie Mellon, from Emerson, NYU, all over the place. And I'm still in touch with them and have actually worked with some of them in shows later on. I've met these kids. There was really talented kids that I got to work with there. So that was a cool experience. And it was a while ago. That was 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a young, naive man. Impressionable. Willing to spend thousands of dollars to learn in a foreign country.
Wise.
Very
wise.
Money well spent.
Hey, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
I'll pay it back one day, I swear.
Right. Man,
I just need a raise.
I went to a 4-year, I went to a 2-year program in my hometown for 4 years and never graduated, right? Doing the acting bit and would just like sort of drift in and
went unconscious there and just like never showed up again. Like, wait, you took a 4-year? It was a 4-year program. It was a 2-year program. It was like a conservatory program.
No. Well, there's two things happening. I went to the high school performing arts that was tied to this local community college, right? That's where they had the facility and all that. So it was kind of like the VOTEC program. So you go your junior and senior year, right?
Mm.
But I didn't find out about it until my junior year. So I ended up going just my senior year. And then I went to this community college for my, whatever, continuing education, first year in college or whatever. And so I picked up the other year, so I do like, the first part of my day would be like the performing arts school, and then I go to my regular college classes. They're all on the same campus because the high school would bus us over during the thing.
Oh, okay.
So, somewhere in there, it just, I had started to lose any kind of like grounding, to be in the program. I just like, it's just like, I didn't care. Anyway, so
you're unrooted.
I was unrooted, and like, this is, like, I started getting like cast in like the college shows, which was cool, and then but that's like, I may have mentioned this before, like I think the first real show that I was ever in, like I did the opening night show, right? Like I'm kind of like, it was kind of like another Sam role where you're kind of like, everybody's sort of doing their thing and you have like characters, but like the guy that like sort of narrates the show,
right,
and like is sort of like, the through line,
right, yeah.
That was that kind of role, and then so I did opening night, and I was like, I feel good about that. I don't think I need to go back tonight, So I never shut up.
Good. That's a consummate professional right there. That's what everyone wants in an actor. Well, press night's over. I got my reviews. I guess I don't have to go do that again.
It wasn't even that. Like, I didn't even care. It wasn't about that. It was like,
right.
It was like some sort, like I was just, like I had nobody in my family. Like my brother was like not really an actor. He was just there to like hang out and do something, just to get away from the house. I think.
Right.
Our house was always in turmoil when we were younger, So it was like we were just looking for exits, And so my brother, jumped ship first doing that stuff, and then when I got on board, doing it. There was no, like, I had no respect for anything. I didn't care about it, plays or people or,
plays, people, who needs them? Listen, I forgot to tell you I would do one night of your play, okay? Opening night.
This wasn't planned. It was just like, well,
Yeah.
And so, like,
do I really want to do that again?
I remember a day later I'm walking, just strolling back in like you do,
right?
And like passing two of the other cast members, and they're just like can't even talk. They're so upset. Like
you ruined their lives. Yeah, you ruined their lives.
And so so the director's like, he's like, what? I don't. How do you not show up for a show? Like it's like, well, and I explained to him like where I was coming. And he's like, no, that's not how it works. Like you can't. It's not. And so like then once I get over like them sort of like the anger part, I was like, oh, I'm so like apologizing the whole thing, and they're like, well, like, we want to actually, like, work with you. Like, you can actually do this, you know, so, but you got to show up and do the shows. So, yeah. But, yeah, it was pretty useless. Very useless. And then I got kicked out of the high school performing arts.
You sound like a true ace.
Yeah. Really knocking it out of the park. And so many years later, this is getting back to school, to student loans. So many years later, this is sort of after doing like a couple years of the music stuff and a record deal and all that kind of stuff. And I'm living now in Texas with this girl I've been dating forever, and we have an apartment. And like, I moved to Austin to like further the music career. This is after I'd taken a year off in New Zealand to just do whatever,
Right.
Right at the pinnacle moment. Right at the pinnacle,
This is the key. This is the crux.
Yeah. That would be a good time to exile myself. So I'm back in Texas, and I'm trying to figure it all out, and nothing's happening. It's just like, people hate me to begin with in some fashion, you know what I mean? But like, just even more so at that point. And so my girlfriend's like, well, why don't you go back to school? Like, why don't you go get a degree? And like, for some reason, this seemed like a good idea at the time, you know what I mean? So it's like, what? Yeah, I guess I'll go for archaeology. Because that's
no
useful.
Come on.
I did.
Come on. I don't know whether to like hug you or slap you right now. It's archaeology.
Nobody was giving me any kind of guidance.
Like, what did she show you? Jurassic Park before? It was like, oh, hey, honey.
No, man.
Doesn't it look like fun?
This is
They're dusting bones off. That's all you have to do. You just get a little brush. It's like brushing teeth, but on the dirt. That's all you have to do. That's all there is to it.
My mom, when I was a kid, worked at the New Jersey State Museum, so we were there all the time.
Oh, okay. So
Summers
the background.
there,
I needed the background. There we go.
We were there all the time, and then like throughout years, like before I did music and doing acting stuff, and I would always be at the museum, like doing like part of their volunteer program, where like cleaning shards and doing some sort of cataloging stuff, and just sort of being involved in that kind of world. A little bit.
Wow, okay.
Just enough.
Okay.
Not a complete degenerate, but fairly useless. There's me and a couple other bums who probably went on to actually do something with archaeology. And not just
right. Yeah. Okay, good.
And so I was like, all right, well, yeah, and I could do that. And like maybe like I'll go for like underwater because there's some sort of element of danger and like you're not sitting in the sun or it's all pie. I'm just grasping at straws. It's like I got in this huge royalty payment, from some sort of from songs and films and stuff. So I was like, I just bankrolled the whole Texas, moving to Texas, and like bought a Jaguar and like just
nice.
Completely out of just completely just going wrong in every direction as fast.
Good.
And
you're
so,
like, I know the mentalities. Like, these next 6 months are going to be awesome. I don't know what's going to happen after that, but
right. Well, it was between doing all that and going on a world cruise. Now, juxtaposition to knowing what a cruise is like, I'm glad I didn't do it, but there were many years where I was like, I should just went on a world cruise by myself.
Leave my phone.
Yeah.
Where'd Moot go? He's on a world cruise.
There was a label, so the label I was on, like I was still on it, though they weren't going to release any more of my albums, and we weren't really working together. We were just fighting lawyers and shit. And that would be like one of the things the guy would always send me. Yeah, whatever happened to Moot?
He's never arguing with us anymore. He's on a world cruise.
Yeah. They lost their minds when I went to New Zealand. They lost their minds.
Oh, really?
They lost their minds.
How long were you in New Zealand?
I lived there for 6 months. Yeah, 6 months exactly.
Now, why didn't you move out there? Did you watch Lord of the Rings and thought,
no, I
it's
didn't
nice?
care about any of that kind of shit.
Just...
No, I had I didn't know anybody in New Zealand except one girl, and she wasn't talking to me at the time that I moved there.
Perfect, so move there, yeah.
So I was like...
That sounds like something I would do.
I liked her, and I thought the whole, country was full of people like her,
Oh, yeah, like beautiful women who won't talk to you.
Yeah.
The world really is. The world is full of women like that.
I like
even
it like
the ship is. You know?
Yeah.
I love those women.
Yeah.
They're just.
Yeah.
What is it about a girl who won't talk to you? They make you just fall in love even more.
Right.
I don't know what
well,
it is.
I don't really want to talk to them. You know?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
This could be perfect.
Yeah, that's right. I'll rule New Zealand. Yeah. So, but no, I'd read an article in like what is that? Like the Coastal Living magazine or something like that. When I was living out
National
in LA.
Geographic's
Some
stupid
bullshit.
brother.
Yeah. But with like
Coastal
hammocks and
Living.
hassocks and all that shit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like a lovely place to be.
Man, it was cool. You know, it was. Yeah, I read an article and it said that New Zealand is like California was 50 years ago, and I was like,
Really?
well, that's as close as I'm getting to like the golden era.
Yeah.
As a kid, so it's like I'm headed there, and somehow I got money. Like I never had money ever. Like it's always like like borrowing
Evaded.
money from people or like it's a disaster.
Oh yeah, me too.
And then somehow I have like a stack of money that's just enough money to get there and do the whole thing and and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. Like literally, I just bought this Jaguar, shelf it for 6 months, no car in New Zealand, completely like
Let it accrue value. I'll just put this in the old garage.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Put this away. Put this in the vault. Open it up. Sell it later.
I literally drove it from California to Nashville to New Jersey, and then shelved it for like 6 months.
Oh, so you put some miles on it. That's
oh,
good.
Yeah. And then, but like at the time, like we were.
This is like a lecture on what not to do with your life.
This was sort of what I said, yeah. But so.
Why I Never Made It, a memoir.
This might be
I read an article in Coastal Living.
You think that's where that could have been? That could have been the spot.
No, but continue. So you shelve this Jaguar. It's like increasing in value by the moment.
Right, literally.
And you're making a fortune.
Totally.
You still have something left over. So.
Well, right. So, yeah. So I got some bank for somehow, and so I go to New Zealand, and
by yourself.
I go completely
Now
completely
to the same
alone.
town where the girl who doesn't talk to you live, like near.
Well,
her?
no, I flew into that town, and I was going to be there for 2 days.
Okay. Just
And
to
then
make sure he didn't
I was
talk
moving
to you.
Wellington, where there was like a film industry.
Oh,
So
right,
it's like,
right.
all right, I'm getting away from music because I was kind of. The whole reason I went to New Zealand is not because I'm like some sort of flaky, like jackass. It was like. I remember doing the last show in Nashville. Like after I'd made this huge break from the label, right? Like.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to explain how, like, oppressive and crazy it was to be on the road with this sort of guy who was running the label, and the whole
Right.
thing. It was just, it's a big long story, but it was like being on the road with your dysfunctional like father, you know what I mean? But right. There's like a lot, there's a lot going on, and I'd finally like sort of regained control of things enough to like get out of LA and sort of move the operation to Nashville. And I was in Nashville for about 2 months. And, we did a show. It's a huge show. Like, guys like Jack White are there. And, like, it's like we're playing in front of a burlesque troupe. It's like a packed joint. And I'm just like, I'm not even here. Like, I'm not even here. And that's, like, the first time that happened with the music stuff. So I was like, man, I think I got to, like... you kind of think in drastic terms. I was like, fuck, I gotta retire. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here. I'm not, I don't even care to write songs. I feel like, it was all I could do to, like, not throw my guitars in the ocean before I left Malibu. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
So I was like, so it's like, all right, well, maybe I should just go back to acting. Maybe I'm just done being a musician. It's like,
Right.
Yeah, maybe, who knows what's next, And so, because I did the stage acting bit for many years, like before the music stuff. And so I was like, all right, and then this whole botched idea of going to New Zealand came about. And,
right.
And then,
Makes sense. No. I've got the backstory, so no, I understand. This sounds like something I would do, so I like it.
You might be very right, and it might be completely the exact moment that I should have. But there was no way to stay.
Right.
There was no way to even stay in California and just see it through. There was I was literally burnt out. And not realizing that it was being burnt out, you know.
Right.
I mean, we were doing like 200 dates a year on the road, and like for 4 years, like we were pounding it. Put out 2 albums, constant fights, constant problems, constant firings, hiring, you know, the whole bullshit. So, so I was burned out without knowing it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I got to New Zealand, I stayed drunk for about 2 weeks, and then it started to bounce back when you're so far away that people can't fuck with you over the phone, like people can't like call you and threaten like, oh, we got lawyers or bullshit, and your girlfriend can't really reach you, you know what I mean? Like you start to heal.
Like the healing process.
Yeah, like time and distance starts to cauterize like whatever's open, you know what I mean? Like, you know?
No, it's very true. I tell you, you know, and that's how it was, you know, up to about, you know, probably 50 years ago when you couldn't get in touch with people.
Yeah.
You know, every place was like New Zealand.
Right.
You know, there were no phones and you could just go away.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right.
But I think it was at a critical time. Like we were, you know, like things were starting to happen with the new album. The day the album came out was the day I broke away. So I was like, once I can get it on iTunes, I know they can't pull it. You know, and not release it because there's a lot of vindictive bullshit like that. But so that's when I made my move.
Oh, okay.
So
you were there for 6 months, and you spent most of the time in Wellington.
Yeah.
And what's going on out there, like in terms of acting wise? I mean, I don't know. Can we even work there as like?
Yeah. Well, you are prime age to do it. You can get a year-long work visa and work as much in and out, leaving the country as many times as you want. You know, all year long. Yeah, like it was great. It was great. Like I worked on Avatar while I was out there. You know, like that was filming out there along with whatever that story about the girl getting killed by the serial killer.
Winter Bone.
Yeah.
Lovely Bones.
Yeah, the Bone one.
Something about bones.
Yeah, but like you know that whole Lord of the Rings shit. Like there's a whole industry sort of built around that. You know, like the King Kong was made out there and all that. You know, like that whole. It's like now. And Wellington's great. I mean, it's a beautiful city, and the people are fun, and that's a drinking town for sure. Like they drink like the world's gonna end tomorrow.
Hey, I like to do that.
Yeah.
Hey, wait. A drinking town.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like it's worth it. Sounds like it's Sounds like more people should know about this. I had no idea. I'm learning.
Or not. Yeah. This
less is more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a terrible place.
If you want to throw your life away.
If you want to throw your life away for 6 months.
Not even that. I mean, like, if you want to like throw whatever kind of real career you may have away.
Right.
To like find yourself again. Yeah, it's a destination.
Yeah, I feel that every day, so that's good.
Right.
Yeah.
But
so I'm booking my flights for the day this contract ends. All right. Hello, Wellington, New Zealand. Open arms. I feel like they're gonna open their arms to me.
Oh yeah. You'd make a lot of.
I'm damaged goods. I think I need New Zealand. I think they need this mess over there.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
Yeah. Right on, man. Well, I didn't mean to drag this on. This has gone on forever, but.
No, this is good.
We've talked.
I've learned. I've been learning. This has been a learning experience for me.
It's like a minefield, and you know where the mines are now, not to step on for yourself. But yeah.
It's good. No, I can't wait to listen to this.
Yeah, man. I'll throw some shit on the front and back of it, and maybe break it up into 2, since we're at an hour and a half at this point.
Oh, that's perfect. I feel like there are 2 distinct things happening here. There's the first 45 minutes and the last 45 minutes. Yeah.
Well, cool, man.
Right. Well, it's been a pleasure. I've never done this before, so, you know, hopefully it turns out. Hopefully the audio recorder was on.
Here's hoping.
Here's hoping. but I'm not putting that much faith in it.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah. Well, I say that we should maybe we should go above deck and see if they're serving drinks.
I think we should get some more drinks out of people.
That's exactly how I feel.
All right. Well, hey, man, I really appreciate you taking the time, sincerely, and I'm really happy that you're on board because for me, it's like I don't know, like I feel like some sort of brotherly thing to you, and it's helpful for me, So like the times that I feel like sort of coming out of my cocoon, I feel like
I understand. I'm good at being a brother. I have like a few of them. So no, but I feel that the same to you. I don't know. We. Even though I'm a talker, I'm not necessarily one who opens up a lot to people. So I think, we're, what do they say in Anna Green Gables? Kindred spirits.
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. No.
Just to bring in, little Prince Edward Island reference there. I think we've come full circle.
I think we did. I think we should kill it there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks again, brother.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, folks. Well, that was my second part of the interview with Jefferson McDonald. Hope you enjoyed that. It was therapeutic for me, I'm sure. It's always great to talk to Jefferson. I really have a great time chatting with him and all that good stuff. Again, we are packing up the bags and getting the guitars ready to head to Europe. We're over there for about 2.5 weeks, playing a bunch of festivals in France and Belgium. And then come back, and August is spent doing a U.S. tour, so keep your eyes open for that. Again, the new album is available for pre-order on iTunes, so just Google the old Moot Davis name, and we'll pop up somewhere in there. And that's kind of about it for the moment, but thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you next time, and hopefully we see you out there on the road. All right, be cool.
Everything that you love, 'cause this town was made for blood. Well, it flows. Out in the gutter at night, far from and out of sight. Was made for blood. made for blood. Yeah, this town is called love and it was made